Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Leach back here with another reaction video. Make sure y'all hit that sub button, turn them noties on, and make sure y'all follow the socials on the screen to be much appreciated. I give thanks to the man above for another day. God bless. I love y'all, man. Yeah, let's get right into it. As y'all can see, the 6 potential landing spots for Anthony Davis if the Dallas Mavericks were to trade him. Let's get into it.
After getting a second opinion,
no surgery for Anthony
Davis. He will be reevaluated
Davis
in 6 weeks. Earlier Tuesday on ESPN,
Mavericks
they reported that AD would likely require surgery and miss a few months. However, teams
that's the game I reacted to. Remember, he got hurt. It was the Jazz game.
Davis,
it was low-key hooping too.
Back, tweeting, "Quote: Y'all better stop listening to these lies.
Y'all better stop listening to all these lies on these apps." Or AD
the trade deadline. I know it. Just coming up on February 5th. All right, let's bring in Sam Quinn and John Gonzalez. Good to see the two of you fellas. His agent, Rich Paul, is pushing Dallas to move Anthony Davis before the deadline. Dallas says they're not going to be bullied, and AD is now sidelined with that wrist injury. So, John, what is your first reaction to this news?
Yeah, Anthony Davis was heated, Katie. Lies, he said. Lies with an exclamation point. You know, he's never been healthier, right? Sam just wrote about this, actually, and I'm sort of LOLing at Anthony Davis taking umbrage with somebody saying that he might need season-ending surgery because he's had hundreds, literally hundreds of injuries in his career. If you look at just the injuries he's had this season, it comes out, you have to unspool
That's
like
the thing about AD. He's such a good player, bro, but like...
I mean, he'll be 33
he
in March,
always
right?
hurt,
He's
bro.
only played 20 games this season. In his time with the Mavericks, he's only played 29 out of a possible 73 total games for the Mavericks. He only played 51 combined games last season. Now we have this thing in the NBA where you need to reach a 65 game threshold to be eligible for postseason awards or for regular season awards, right? Well, he's only cleared that bar one time in the last 8 seasons. So I understand that he wasn't thrilled with the reporting here, but I guess the media should be forgiven that they got out ahead of this because he's Anthony Davis and he's constantly
without
hurt.
Anthony Davis this season.
Yeah, when you said he's never been healthier, I thought in my head, healthy? What is healthy when we look at AD? Let's talk about real leverage here. Davis is hurt. Dallas is 12th, 11th or 12th or so in the West, and he's starting
likelihood Anthony
Davis
a
massive
traded.
Contract extension window
20
this
games this
summer.
season, averages 20
Sam, based on everything that we do know, how likely is it that AD actually gets traded before February 5th?
Well, how badly does he want that contract extension, right? Is that why Rich Paul is pushing for this? Because I don't think it would be responsible for anybody to extend Anthony Davis right now. His current contract goes through his 34 season. Are you paying him when he's 35, 36?
I don't think he gets traded.
That seems really irresponsible given that injury history that John laid out. Already making supermax money right now. If there is a team out there that is willing to give him an extension, I'm willing to bet that Rich Paul will do everything in his power to make that trade happen. I don't know that a trade exists, which makes this sort of complicated, right? I don't know what his trade value is in a world in which we don't know when he's coming back this year, and we don't know what to expect from him moving forward because we never know what to expect from him. I think if Rich Paul had his way, the Mavericks would just trade him to whoever would take him, right? Like, is there a cap dump trade out there? Is there something like the Trae Young trade that Atlanta made with Washington? Since there isn't one out right now, I'll put it around 50-50. Somebody would have to give up value to convince Dallas to get off of him because even though he might not play again this year, the Mavericks could bring him back next year with Kyrie Irving and say, you know what? We'll get a high draft pick this year.
Yeah, Kyrie should be coming back too soon, bro.
Then bring back Kyrie and AD and
can't wait to
see
Kyrie
next year. So that's the leverage for Dallas. It's not about, oh, can we generate a bidding war? It's, can anybody give us an offer that makes us
29 games played since getting traded from Lakers last February, bro. That's actually fucking
I think it's around 50-50. Could go either way.
I know, like, AD really can't control it, bro.
Yeah, I'm with Sam here. I mean, like, it's hard for me to imagine a deal where somebody goes, oh, you know what I would like? 33 in March, Anthony Davis, who's constantly hurt and never available. And, oh, by the way, we have to pay him $54 million this season, $58 million next season. And he's got a player option on the back end for $62 million. Yeah, Rich Paul, of course he's pushing hard for a trade because he wants that next deal because he knows, like we all know, that Anthony Davis is
young AD, though,
available, so
most of his stuff,
get money on the front end. Now,
10x NBA All-Star.
Sam was talking about, okay, maybe there's a cap dump situation out there. Atlanta has been one of those teams that's been linked to being interested in Anthony Davis. Maybe the Mavs go and trade for, say, expiring contracts like Kristaps Porzingis and Luke Kennard. You could get something like $42 million in expiring contracts off of that. Beyond that, I can't see why anybody would be eager and running towards the Mavericks and saying, yes, please, we'll take Anthony Davis off of your hand, given his long injury history, his age, and that odious contract.
Well, when you say it like that, John, I don't know either, but let's take a deeper dive into it. We have heard names like the Hawks, the Raptors, Bucks, even the Warriors.
Landing spots, let's hear. NBA trade deadline. NBA trade deadline is
John,
February 5th.
when you look at the fit, right, and the contracts and the timelines, which landing spot actually makes the most basketball sense, both for AD and Dallas?
Yeah, you mentioned the Hornets. I'll let Sam go with that one. That's his pet project there, and it's kind of interesting too. We mentioned again, Atlanta is one of those situations where he's been tied to going to the Hawks. We just saw what happened with Trae Young. There was basically no trade market for him, and they had to swap him out for CJ McCollum,
Hawks, Nets, and
Corey Crisper. I don't think it's quite that bad for Anthony Davis, but I do think that it would take some maneuvering here. Maybe it is, as I mentioned, just expiring contracts like Kristaps Porzingis and Luke Kennard. All of a sudden, the Mavs want to try to duck the tax, and they'd be happy to do that. Maybe it's a situation like the Brooklyn Nets.
I feel like the Hornets would kind of be a dark horse
next year, so they don't have any real incentive to tank next season. So maybe they take a flyer on them. I'm not sure why they would. Can I interest anybody in a Pelicans reunion? Do you want to do maybe a swap with Zion Williamson? The whole point here, Katie, and I think Sam would probably be in agreement with me here, is I hate all of these options. To be honest, though,
I don't think he gets traded. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do y'all think AD get traded?
The only fit I really like is the Charlotte Hornets. I know it's out there. I know it's from left field. Just hear me out. The Hornets have Dallas's 2027 first round pick. That makes them ideal trade partners. There are no more valuable for 2027.
Hornets, Clippers, Raptors. All right, the Raptors would actually be crazy, bro. Clippers, I would like to see the Hornets out of there.
First round pick. That makes them ideal trade partners. There are no more valuable first round picks than your own. They're the only ones that you can control. Since the beginning of December, Charlotte has had a top 5 offense with LaMelo Ball, Con Knipple, Brandon Miller. They have an offensive
Mavs would receive, the Hornets receive AD, Clay, and D'Angelo Russell.
Size and defense. That sounds a lot like Anthony Davis. They're obviously cheaper long-term. Con Knipple still has 3 years left on his rookie deal. If there is a team out there that is equipped to extend Anthony Davis, even though I wouldn't advise it, the Hornets would be among those teams. I think they're the one team out there that could look
AD
at this
and LaMelo
say,
would go crazy,
it's a low enough risk move for us
and Brandon Miller, you still got
that we could justify it. Does Toronto make some sense? Sure. They do need the talent upgrade, whether it's John Morant or Anthony Davis. We think they're going to swing for somebody.
No. The Raptors need a point guard, bro.
Their ceiling just isn't high enough to justify the payroll. I've thrown out the Clippers as well.
They better go
just
get
because the Clippers have all of these expiring contracts. They could get Dallas off of the contract scot-free. And obviously, they're trying to win now. They're trying to be a buyer at the deadline. Because Kawhi Leonard and James Harden are in their mid-30s. What else are you going to do? There are other teams out there that maybe in other circumstances could make sense. Charlotte is the team I have fallen in love with. There's no real reporting. There's no substance to that. I just think it's a great fit.
So John wants nothing to do with AD at the trade deadline, and Sam's got a very interesting trade.
Yeah, I like what Sam's got to say about John.
I will say, as a 49ers, excuse me, a Warriors
he's talking about the Pelicans reunion, bro.
Fan, like, seeing Klay Thompson go to Charlotte would actually hurt my heart. John Gonzalez, Sam Quinn, thank you for joining us. Here are the odds to win the end. My heart. John.
All right, that's gonna do it for this video. There's 6 potential landing spots for AD. Let me know in the comment section down below. What teams would you guys like to see him get traded to if he does get traded? Personally, I don't think he's going to get traded, bro. You know, when he's on, X saying, don't trust these lies and all that. I feel like he ain't get traded, bro. I think he's going to stay in Dallas, bro. But yeah, make sure y'all follow the socials on screen. Much appreciated. I love you all about. Peace.